Bring it up. Wow. It's getting about that time. Okay. Oof. Hey, onegaishimasu. Okay, just from where we are. Just raise your hand. It's like I'm extending. Okay? Raise your left hand. I'm extending. Okay? Okay? Now, we'll kind of play a little bit into the dragon. Bruce Lee says, I don't hit, it hits. Something, it extends. Of course, I'm there. It's extending through me. You can say that's key. Key is, I'm extending. Key is extending itself through me. So I'm kind of a bridge between I extend and it extends. All right, like here, I'm trying to open. Easy, open, settle, it opens. Okay, now what it is, final level of us, okay, so not so rush, not relax, better sense of rhythm, timing, flow. But on the other hand, the flow is happening right here, right now. It flows. Okay, it's a little different. I'm flowing, an easy, open, settle, it flows. Okay, so a lot of that is everybody. Oh, let's form a line this way since we are recording. Okay. And one of the things right here, just saying, okay, he grabs, you know, I'm extending, but I feel his weight and it flows. It flows. What does it feel like? It feels like what it feels like. Okay. I do it. I'm going to clear here a bit. Get my system open. Get a little help. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I flow. It flows. I'm trying to flow. It flows. I'm trying to flow. It flows. All right. I'm trying to. It flows. Okay. So I'm doing it. What is it? It's a better version of you, or conversely, you know, T wants to move through you. I'm extending T. T moves. All right. T moves. Moves through you or me. So there's that place there. I get better out there. The T is a more interior thing. You're coming in this direction. Okay. All right. It flows. You're still there. Okay. But let's start out with that motion. Okay. Yeah. 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 One of the things, for example, you know, you feel his weight. I react. I quit a little bit. I got a friend. He is my friend. My friend. You know what I mean? You have your own key, or you have your own energy, but the energy flows. So we start to have an ally. Our own energy starts to say, you know, larger portion of energy, or key, or spirit, or something like the term coming. Right? The term coming. Right? The way Bruce Lee puts it, I don't hit, it hits. We're not a hitting art that way, but we're a blending art. Okay, all right, keep going. Yeah, so it's, there's an area where, like you have an ally, so to speak. You call what is it? Well, you have a certain amount of key in your system, but a deeper level of you has more. And some of that is just key is key. It moves. The way Bruce Lee put it, I don't hit, it hits. Right? We're not a hitting art. So, I don't blend. It's the energy comes in to blend. That's feeling a little bit there. So making that, how do we do that? We're very easy. It goes the other way too. Right? I'm in this way, it goes the other way too. Okay. Right? I have key. Good. He has key. Right? Right? Well, there you're right. Descriptions are kind of weird. Right. But, if you remember Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee has that. I don't choose it is. But, we don't hit so much, but right here. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the thing we're mentioning is, if you go back to Enter the Dragon, where he fights that match at the beginning, and after that his teacher comes in and has the conference with him. His teacher says something like, what do you think of when you're facing an opponent? And then Bruce Lee says, there is no opponent. And then, basically, then that teaches, and why is that? Okay, that was quite a statement. There is no opponent. And Bruce Lee said, because the word I doesn't exist. I do the movement, I hit. No, it hits. Different art. We don't hit, so to speak, right? We move. Okay. So one of the things, for example, here, I'm trying to do a movement, but it moves. It moves. It moves sometimes before he even does it. Right? It moves before he does it. Okay. So Osensei called a lot of that. He called it coming. There are energies around. At his level, kami is usually a kind of a more divine energy. Okay. And he just said, well, and the way he put it is that, the ningen to kami ga toitsu shiteru koto. It's a matter of the human aspect of us uniting with the more divine aspect of us. Okay, I have ki, but all of a sudden, ki can move through me. I might have a divine nature somewhat hidden here, but there are energies out there as this starts to polish itself that are also kind of divine. Okay, so if I go, okay. So making that bridge between I know the movement and I'm going to do the movement better, and just what did Bruce Lee say? The word I doesn't exist. The reality is we're trapped within an ego and an I. So as we get easier and we open and we settle, the I starts to become more transparent. And, the energy, I got ki, I'm going to extend ki, my ki is stronger than yours. Ki moves through you. Okay? All right, so a little vague, but we go back to a very famous martial arts film. examine what Bruce Lee might have meant. Okay? No sensei, not Bruce Lee, but he kind of talked about standing on the floating bridge, which means you basically you have a divine nature, heavenly nature, and you have an earthly, grounded nature, body, blah, blah, blah. And in the middle, there's ego, there's I, right? Which the I starts to become easier with itself. You start to settle. You open right there. Then what happens is the more divine nature of you and the earthly version of you, they start to kind of package together. And that's a lot of, I think, what he meant with the floating bridge. Okay, so from here, yeah, I'm here, and I'm kind of looking, and I'm trying to do that, and I'm trying to figure this out. But all of a sudden, it's the system itself as energy flows, and I just want to be true enough and flow with it. And here's okay, so let's change partners, drop a little bit, and we'll kind of see if we can play that a bit more. Okay. Now, I'm kind of thick and I tend to. But if I'm more transparent, yeah, I'm kind of thick and I tend to. But if I'm more transparent, wow, the energy's organized around you and through you. Yeah, you're still doing the movement. But again, it goes back to the end of the drive. I don't hit, it hits. No, we're not hitting us. So what is this? Yeah, I'm going to move you the technique, and some I think he's going to move you. You see, there's a little difference. Because what again, if you go back to that original thing, which most people forget, because you know it's about punching and kicking and everything, and Bruce Lee kind of lays it all there. What do you think? What do you think of when you face an opponent? Well, I'm going to stand and blend. Okay. He says there is no opponent. Why? Because you know basically we're in a state of unity. What I think of when I face an opponent, I'm looking for a technique. There is no opponent. There is no opponent. We're in a state of transparency where energy moves. If we're doing Aikido, we're not hitting, we're blending. And what happens is that you get a kind of a unique experience, which gets you a certain sort of, woo, what was that? And so you're inspired to become more transparent yourself, not spacey, not just vitally present. Okay, we'll do the technique. It moves. Yeah, I got to know enough. I don't know anything. I'm an idiot. I'm going to try it out there. I got to figure it out. Easy. You're going to come in the first one. We go this way. They tell me again, just go. What happens to these? All right, boom. It is what it is. Come this way, then with the boom. And go this way. Boom. Boom. Yeah. In a lot of ways, you know, I can do that, but if I step aside, then my own energy, is going to organize to produce a harmonious thing. You see what I mean? It's a little different, you know, and, you know, since they talked about instant gods and godmothers and everything, which is very good if you're kind of Jungian psychologist, but for most people, what does it mean? Well, we get our own way, we realize to exist multidimensionally. Maybe our ordinary self can get pretty good, but you know, well, there shouldn't. Easy, not easy as I don't care. Or easy. We're gonna have to diffuse the bomb. There are a bunch of the wires and I kept the wrong one, kaboom, so I got to be very easy there. Instead of getting tight, I've got to open this. Yeah, and I can't just be mental here because it's ticking. It's simple. A little zen. Click. All right. Okay. Yeah. The easy open settle. I mean, it's best kind of done. Not when you're in an emergency, but you got to practice. Okay. If we're using films, you can go from, but I'm dating myself. You can go from Enter the Dragon to Goldfinger. There's Sean Connery, 007. And there's a bomb about to explode in Fort Knox. And he doesn't know, but he's going to do something that'll probably blow the bomb up. And the expert comes in and goes, quick, defuses the bomb with a little touch. Okay? You don't want the superstar spy to try to do something high tech in this day. That was 1963, 64. Eat. Well, crisis over. Boom. All right, but it's kind of the same thing, It's a point where they go like this and boom, kaboom. With the switch. Okay. And playing a movie game, you got to defuse a bomb. You got to be Bond cutting it along. And Bond's good at certain things. The expert can't handle all the physical stuff Bond does. But Bond's an idiot in a certain way. He's very entertaining. I love Sean Connery Bond. Easy though. I don't know what to do. I'll cut a wire. Open. But I don't do it. Settle. The expert comes in and goes, that. And you realize then, thank goodness, I would have cut the wire and blown everything up. So everybody has their expertise, right? But what do we have to do sometimes when we're facing a situation we don't know? Easy, open, settle, let it decide. Huh? I mean, going to another movie, Star Wars, Luke, trust the Force. Luke, trust the Force. We know that's true. It's just that we go, yeah, that's a movie, and da 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 da. So we get a chance to kind of write our own screenplay and test ourselves and see whether or not, because there are truths everywhere. On the big screen, the small screen, in print, right? And down here, one thing, being out there is very obvious. I'm going to be off balance, and so I have to be easy, settle into my base, open a bit, Yes, it's energy gathering. I wouldn't want to have to do that, by the way, try to figure out how to kaboom. Settle. Right? And then Bond was smart enough. No, I'm James Bond. I'm going to defuse Bond. No, the expert comes in and goes, God, he's smart enough to realize. Let the expert do it. So the thing is, well, let Keith do the movement through you. When you do that, he moves through him too. It's Keith, right? That's a hard one. There's a little bit of what we call just swati waza. But right about here, okay, here we go. No. The key is like a river. And I'm kind of go here, and I may have a certain amount of key in my own system, and a certain amount of power in my hips, and a certain amount of timing there. Okay, so let's drop a bit. Easy, open, settle. I'm James Bond. I don't have to do that. Well, you better at Fort Knox facing a nuclear weapon which you know nothing about. You're really good in the bedroom and fighting evil spies, but you don't know anything about the bomb. Easy, open, settle. Let's another movie archetype. Let's change partners. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now, one of the things too, was open. I'm trying to do it. Open. What is open? Open is open. I'm too caught up in what I think I need to do. Like Bond's going to cut the wire. Kaboom! Obviously, didn't happen because the director goes and goes, that Bond is in the total wrong place with it. I got to cut a wire. No, you don't. You just got to go that. You know, just got to go that. All right. You cut the wire. Kaboom! Ah! That's right? The expert, gets there, at the last moment, and just goes, and all the lights turn off, and all the da-da and all the honest background music settle in. Easy. Easy, easy, yeah. Yeah. In other words, you have an ally, which is T. And if you let T come into your system, it's going to amplify your own T. But, you guys are trapped in, okay, I'm going to get better at that. Yes, you will. But most people that do that, that's fine. Very good at beating people up and everything like that. But he should step aside. No, I'm James Bond. I'm going to save the world. Come on. No. Step aside. And you step aside and let whatever you want to call it. Let your finer, better self take care of it as opposed to, okay, or your own key, or spirit, or since they would call it Tommy, maybe. Okay, all right. Now, one of the things too, the key is already flowing, isn't it? Key is already flowing, isn't it? Yeah. You watch those sensei, a lot of times, does he care? Kind of, in a certain way, because he's so smart. They interfere with energy humanizing. I mean, we might, say at a certain level, I see as the natural state of the universe. Systems are supposed to kind of get along, okay? But we're in this crazy state where Kevin McCarthy is leader of the House, and legislation is being blocked, and people who lied to get elected are crazy world. Easy. You can change that. But, I can get my own act together within my own system. Better level of me, better levels of T around that can move through me. And the major thing, you're going to simply pull the dough, said they, so it's so easy, but I can't give it to you. One of the things is, yeah, you get really good out there. But, you know, one of the things we start to run around out there and we're like James Bond wondering what wire to cut. You idiot, you're not supposed to cut a wire, you're supposed to press something. It's a wrong universe, you know? Super spy does not equal somebody who can handle that, right? Easy. No sense of talking about the universe of design, which you consider IQ, energies that work together, create harmony, come from a loving source, and then we're part of that. So, you know, that's easy. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. That's everybody. We form a line again. Okay. Yeah. You know, people just stand up, stretch the legs for a bit. We were down there. People that are really good, it's almost like they step aside and something else happens. Okay. And if you can do that, it looks really cool. Okay. There's a reason the Warriors sort of won. If you're kind of looking at them this year, what happened? Well, basically, they won because Stephen Curry was coming from, believe it or not, you can be kind of egoless. But if your energies or the federal level of you is channeled, things happen around you. Okay. And one thing about him, I will say this, studying somewhat, you know, professional basketball, he's not the only guy I see that isn't just super athletic or super intelligent. He kind of comes from a finer dimension. And what we found out last night is he's pretty human. He's going to lose it too. Right? Life can get very frustrating. So learning should be easy. Easy, not a word, but kind of start to feel your body kind of relax, open. I'm holding on to too much noise up here. You know, how many shootings have there been? You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff on the news. You know, documents appearing in, you know, where they shouldn't be. You know, easy. Doesn't mean we don't pay attention to that. But right in this moment, if my mind is caught there, my spirit is caught in a negative cycle. So the Aikido hopefully gives you an avenue to say, okay, yeah, I'm going to keep in touch with that. But I have access to something called the better level of you. Okay, one of the things is that, you know, let's just say there are common. Okay, well, guess what? Each of us has a divine nature in us, which, of course, we clutter with everything, right? And then, you know, I mean, he appears to attack, and all of a sudden, you know, I'm thinking about what I need to do. The technique, and I get better at it. But, you know, the way Bruce Lee laid it out, there is no opponent. What does that mean? It's an interior state. I create the opponent by having a certain mindset. See, instead of attacking me, he's going for a walk, puts on a banana peel, but he rolls out of it. That's pretty cool. And he thinks I can do some crazy voodoo, so it doesn't bother me anymore. Win-win. He doesn't crack his head slipping on the banana peel, and I don't necessarily have to sully myself. I can just be cool. Okay. You know, so that's kind of the game. Obviously, the reality is, you know, Enter the Dragon, it's not just Bruce Lee walking around, you know, with kung fu wisdom. You know, you see him fight, you see him actually kind of do some really dirty stuff to win. Okay. And of course, you're going to watch that go on. But then again, he gives a lot of wisdom throughout it. And one of them, for example, is, you know, don't think, feel. What am I feeling? An easier, looser, more relaxed interior state. Okay. Oh, add a little more turn to that. Okay. Now we can even reverse and create a. All right. You think Stephen Curry's going to drive? No, he's going to step back and hit from 30 feet. Jordan Poole thinks he can do that and throws up a horrible shot last night. Okay. They won? Yeah. It's better to make your mistakes and learn when you win because you realize we were lucky. I won the game. Yeah, sometimes, but that's the eye. No, strength in numbers means that there's a harmony. Now, basketball is a little bit more like this team and that team. It's a little more competitive. Our culture, we like that more. 49ers, Eagles, who's going to win? I want Mr. Irrelevant to go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's cool. Will it happen? I don't know. No. You see the archetype, the center, that's a circle. Instead of I win, he's part of the circle. He's beginning to feel himself as part of the energy circulating around. I get to learn how to stand in and as the center. Okay? And to go back to Bruce Lee, I'm trying to be the center in the circle, just off. You begin to see how the circle starts to kind of naturally show more of itself. As the center reveals itself, and you are standing in the center as an object, so the forces around that start to circulate more freely. My mantra, easy, open, and make sure at the beginning, and you have some ground, some center there. Right? Easy, open, center. Easy, open, settle, triangle, circle, square, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Let's, we're adding more circle to it. You got that a bit? As the center starts to show, the circle starts to show a bit more of itself. As I get a little bit more presence here, not as I, but as, let's say, a deeper version of myself. The center becomes deeper, more involved with the circle, and the circle starts to kind of embrace the center back. That's the I key of it. See, it can be just a horrible storm that destroys Northern California. Sorry, not, really not. Or it can be forces working together in balance. Kind of this and that are connected. They talk. There's even a love between them. And that's more the I key. All right? Okay. More circle. So let's make sure that as you are the center nage, you don't throw your uke circle into another person or wall. Okay? Let's change partners and spread out. For example, one of the things here is to come this way. Let's have another movement that's possible. It's going to move. I can move. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. The other moves that are possible here. Look up. Easy. But you know, just staying with this one. The center, talk to the circle. The circle talks to the center. There's kind of an ambiance. You know, we're not in a fighting mode. It's like, okay, we can make life miserable on this planet, or we can evolve to a more divine level, and you know, we could blend with nature and nationally and racially and gender-wise create a paradigm. But you know, it's far from that. So the IT is a template for it. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's okay. That's another option, for example. You go over here, then all of a sudden there's a whole other option. If you have it, you're gonna, okay. Well, that's the obvious side. Okay, but you can also, for example, and we got this motion here. Or come over or Catholic, but you can go this way. All right. That's energy. All right, now I'm going to do it. I'm going to learn this. What did Bruce Lee say? That's start. I learn, I do. But we want to work towards, you know, different art. It's not that the I doesn't exist, it's just that it's more transparent, doesn't get in the way. Okay. Okay, so you know, there are other options that you have. Right there. And I think this was just right now. Okay. There's that motion there. Energy. You know, I just get it doing the movement. Or, you know, I'm like, all right. All right. Now, one of the things, we do get here, then I throw. No, you throw. Get out of the way. In the process, what do? One of the things that happens there is there's a greater level of us there. It doesn't force, learns to get out of the way and allow energy to flow, makes connections as opposed to competes. You see what I mean? It's kind of a win-win-win across the board once we get it. You see what I mean? And so, you know, just what was it like? Huh? Easy, open, settle. Right? I got to get out of my own way. I'm still going to act, but you know, well, you know, the wisdom that you have at a final level guides your actions. That's why, you know, you'll be what the Luke will force. Somebody turn the computer off, freak everybody out. We're going to go blow up the Death Star, and everybody's going to have a parade. We get medals, and you know, that's cinema. You know, that's mythology, really. Right? But in a sense, you know, we had to get out of whatever it was. And then, of course, in the second movie, he finds out his dad is so easy. Easy. Then there's Return of the Jedi, where everything kind of comes together. This is kind of cool. They work in 1, 2, 3, usually triangle, circle, square. That's it. Right? Okay. Yeah, one of the things, for example, is okay, you feel the energy kind of move. You feel the energy kind of movement. Okay? I remember my first encounter in the finger area was not the finger dojo. I went up and, you know, like I came coming in this way and boom, this guy hit me and bloodied my nose, which I didn't think, you know. So I went to Mary Hang and said, does he want to actually fight? You know, because he had been cut off there. So I said, no. I said, well, I'm supposed to take that? And she said, yeah. I said, that's stupid, but okay, that's the game here. Okay. And then the next day, we had a private lesson with one of the other teachers I never worked with before. It was honor stuff. And I'm expecting to see the 7th degree at the time. And the other guy was like about a 3rd or 4th degree. And I'm going to get double killed. But what was interesting was, you know, went right about this. And then right about here, he moved and I moved. Very different than last night. Right? You know, instead of getting smacked in the face right here, he moved and I moved. I went, you get too carried away with I hit. You do what you will get better at hitting people, but on the other hand, if you're doing I hit, what are you doing? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I just, you know, it's physical. It's a paradox. The question is, you know, if this guy is blooding people up, does that mean that I think I should bloody people up? Certain amount of games, yeah. But on the other hand, what did I just feel? Right? I got a home with dojo, you know, and Wada Sensei teaches 2 hands. You know, and I never felt this motion. I didn't know how to hold or anything. I didn't even feel it. He just went like that. I went, what was that? What did that do? Did I lose something? Where's my thing? What?
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, I knew that we lost something there. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So one of the things, you know, is you know, since they studied all the religious texts and everything like that, you know, he's a studier too. I mean, he's not just a jock. And, you know, a lot of what he studied, I mean, you know, you could, you know, different takes, different things. There are archetypes, patterns of energy that repeat. Okay. And you kind of found a pretty deep level. Okay. Now, you know, Jung had this theory of archetypes. It explained psychological behavior. You know, Einstein kind of had this, you know, expanded theory of space-time and gravity and everything like that. I would have thought that O-sensei, if the 3 of them ever met, 2 of them being very famous and O-sensei being O-sensei, but not too famous, really. He's famous because we're Aikido, but, you know. And, you know, there's Einstein, you know, yeah, he's got his own physics, but running up against quantum, looking for the unified field theory. Okay, there's Jung that has all these things about creative forces and energies and archetypes. And then there'd be O-sensei thinking, I am the unified field. Now what I'm going to kind of show you, you know, is like you do paintings and everything, but say those forces are alive and right here. And as we, in Jungian terms, you psychologically evolve. You learn to get out of the way, but in the process of getting out of the way, you find who you are. You individuate. So from a controller you go into more of a beer. You go from ego at some level, I, into self. And you know, Jung painted and he did a whole bunch of artwork from there. Well, since he did that with bodies in a martial sense. So I think it would have been fascinating. I'd like to have been a fly on the wall. You get Paul Jung, you get Albert Einstein, you get O-sensei. Then you have George Lucas sitting in there going, wow, I got a great idea for a film series, right? You see what I mean? Yeah. And somebody had to package it. So, you know, our stuff, addressing like popular culture archetypes in movies and things like that. Okay, because they motivate us. Okay. So anyway, stretch the legs. Let's say you come in this way. Okay, so he pushes, he pulls. We're kind of in a world, I turn CNN on. There's been another mass shooting, or Congress is being weird. Now, that's fine, Danny, but not going to get out of the way. Maybe I'll get a little better, get my hip into it. Easy. I mean, easy, I got more ground. Open. I'm less obsessed here, but connected. And I can be even compassionate. This can be a little intense. I know that. I settle a bit, so I'm a bit more. Okay. So this is we call it, quote unquote, a physical technique. But who's doing the technique? Okay. I need to get me jealous. Better level of me. Loose, free, with focus. Even a bit compassionate. I know that's pretty intense. Okay, all right. So we come back. Okay. So we're doing, this stuff. It's the same thing here. Okay. All right. Again, we follow the Bruce Lee thing. You don't EQ. EQ. It EQ. Okay. Okay. Let's change partners. Right? Katadori EQ. Yeah, one of the things right there. Yeah, this is good. Okay. I'm going to turn my hip now. Energy moves. This moves this way, moves this way. And it moves this way, doesn't it? Hi. What is it? Energy moves this way, it moves this way, and it moves this way, doesn't it? That, right? Triangle, circle, square. Triangle, circle. Oh, I forgot the square. Yes. Right? And the point is, maybe I got a pretty good EQ, but I know triangle, circle, square. They're my buddies. Jeff penetrates the offense, right? This is the Draymond who move, positions everybody, and then all of a sudden there's Clay Thompson to win the game. Triangle, circle, square. And what happens? We're into duality. Right, wrong. Right, wrong. Evolution. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's like, I am right, you're wrong. No, I'm right, you're wrong. Yeah. Let's communicate. Let's feel a little compassion for each other. Yeah. That's one more. That's the other one. Now that sets up. Guess what? It's almost nothing, is it? This one. Yeah. Yeah. What's anything, for example, here? Let's go over this. Let's change this here. What's that for? Oh, here. Okay, same thing right here. Okay. Yeah, over. You can flip the switch a bit. Yeah, of course, we're going to bump into stuff on the human level, but we have access to a much easier, freer, more communicative. Hi. Yeah. I mean, that was, those things that, I was going to say, I want to do Aikido like you. It's just funny, real, you want to do Aikido like me? And he says, so easy, like, who give it to you? Why? Because the eye takes everything over. The opponent's not out there, it's an interior one. And so when you say the word, the word I does not exist, yes, it does, but it's under some semblance of control. We can get control of the eye. We're going to make it easier, more open, settled a bit. I becomes a bit more transparent. Yeah, I'm getting too controlling. I'm getting too afraid. Easy. All right. So in that way, the art, I think, is we're behind on it. We get too good. The eye creating an opponent, trying to blend and create the harmony of Aikido. When I think of those, there's that motion, there's that motion, there's this motion, right? There's this motion, there's this motion, and then there's that motion. Okay? If you don't have the triangle 1, 2, 3, you get caught up in 1, 2. They're supposed to kind of be a harmony there, but it usually turns out to being this. I'm a progressive, I'm a conservative. Okay, let's just create chaos in the country. And one side starts to lie to be right, the other side's kind of dumb. Idealistic but stupid. Point where we're not in a great place.
Yep.
But we have our own interior governing body. So yeah, we are part of this. And we're also working other things. Okay. All right. Now, one of the things I kind of want you to look at is a lot of times if you get two things in this culture, especially the eye, which is right? Well, which means which is wrong. We want to make something wrong. Okay. Conservatism is not wrong. It's just when you have conservatives that lie, it distorts the system. A more progressive state is not wrong. It's just that oftentimes they're a little too loose and sloppy. Okay. So essentially we're triangle, circle, square. All right. And, he said, heaven, there's earth, but there's he or she who stands on the floating bridge connecting heaven and earth, triangle, circle, square. So we have that third element. Okay. And so, for example, here, there's that motion. There's that motion. There's that motion. And then there's that motion. 1, 2, 3. I just created an opponent. I just created, I got to learn the movement. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I have to. But I also have to get used to, okay, this is good. This is good. Where am I stumbling here? Well, basically, this is pretty out there, but when it comes time to do something, I'm going to make the wrong decision. Last night it was Jordan Poole, basically get 24 seconds if you get an offensive rebound. And within the last 2 minutes of the game, basically you're playing the clock as well as the other team. Neither team can defeat time. The only thing you can do is make time your ally. And so the Warriors get an offensive rebound, they kick it out. Jordan Poole, in 2 seconds, takes a 30-foot shot that misses, and the other team gets the ball. Curry gets so pissed off, which you never see, that he throws his mic into the audience, automatically eject and use Steph Curry with 1:14 left on the clock. They win. That's the best thing. It's better to make your mistakes and win than it is to make your mistakes and lose. Because when you lose, you get negative about yourself and you start to go input out there, I do. Whereas you go, we were lucky. What happened? Jordan, who took that stupid shot, was the guy who made the shot that won the game. There's always redemption. No, I am eternally damned. Yeah, okay. We do that to ourselves. Okay, so right here, there's this motion. There's this motion. And then there's I. And I get better at jamming and turning the hips and causing me feel good about it because I'm winning. There's this motion, there's this motion, there's that motion. But there's also I there, but more transparent. It's easier with itself. It opens and it's calmer. It doesn't just throw up something. All right. Okay. So I'm gathering together. No, There's the 1, 2, 3. Easy, open, settle with yourself. Okay? We're going to go back to the same thing, but easier. To their energies for the movement, what would Bruce Lee say? If he was here, he'd say, I don't need Gil, it needs Gills. You see what I mean? In the process, the I, which creates so much division, as much as, turn on the news, there's another mass shooting killing. Yeah. What does it do? It pollutes my consciousness, takes away a lot of the enjoyment of life, puts me in a worse mood to handle what I need to handle. Okay? I deal with it better when I'm looser, easier, freer. Doesn't mean you're happy about the mass shootings. It just means it's not polluting your consciousness. You have the ability to be more transparent. One of the things that happens is, you feel compassion. I know what a Nikyo feels like. Okay, but I also know what a good Nikyo feels like. All right? And I wish you worked with Tojima Sensei. He was here at home. He did not hit you with a Nikyo. I gotta feel that some more. So I'd go back and, would you please, after class, show me your Nikyo? And he would, 5 minutes on this one and 5 minutes on that one. And I'm thinking in 2 minutes, I'm an idiot. But it was a transcendent experience. The Nikyos were intense, but they didn't hurt. And I just moved. I was like, whoa, what's that? And the other Nikyos, so, somebody who's really good with the Nikyo, it's almost like, I don't Nikyo. Nikyo happens through me. This, that, and that, this, that, and that orchestrate themselves as I get out of the way. You gotta learn the components. After that, easy, open, settle. Let's go one more time, same person. Oof, got a minute. Yeah. 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 Yeah, one of the things about that, don't look at the techniques like they're going to come this way is out there. Never going to bounce a basketball. All right. Okay. No, I'm going to bounce a basketball. If you grab my wrist right there, I'm going to bounce a basketball and lay it up at the roof. All right. I mean, you know, if you come in here and then all of a sudden, boom. Right. Right. I mean, those senses I do, it's not like the drawing, boom. You know, I mean, best I can do is that move energy focuses in the core and then it extends up. And then, yeah, there we are going like this and like this and in there. Boom. Mainly, you know, one of the things is going to be many things. You can learn a lot of patterns. But as Bruce Lee found out, he says, simply simplify. You don't have to know all that stuff. If you know too much, you start to go robotic, you know, and you go like this, and somebody kicks you somewhere else, or you know, maybe you can go for an hour here, but you can't dance. You know, so you know, he found that you know, you had to get rid of a lot of his, even his good stuff, to be who he felt he was. So that's a journey. Okay, so I mean, we're not Bruce Lee. He was on a good path, right? He was on a good path. Okay. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, you know, things that you can do. I know it's kind of it's like a mantra: easy, open, settle. Sometimes the language gets kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Mary Haney Sensei, she was so good in Japanese, she could speak to somebody on the phone. You would meet her in person and think, I thought you were Japanese. Japanese is that good, okay? And she said it was interesting. One time she's with Nado Sensei, and they're listening to a tape of O Sensei. And Nado Sensei's Japanese, not so good. But what was interesting was he had such a feel for O Sensei's stuff that he would explain what O Sensei was saying, even though he had absolutely no knowledge of what it was. And, you know, because, you know, Mary would go to some of the O Sensei retreats and stuff that O Sensei sponsored. And so, you know, she kind of thought, you know, he's pretty off the wall. Because, you know, he's not, you know, I'm going to learn Japanese. He said, I intentionally didn't learn it because I just thought that if you learn the language, then all of a sudden, you know, I mean, I do ancient Japanese prayers in ancient Japanese. Are you going to do that? Probably not. Is it in the end result necessary? No. I kind of like it, just like I like jamming on the horn. Right? But all of a sudden, it's like, oh, that's the sacred space. No, the point is, everybody here, when you look inside, that's sacred. We look for it out there, we get disillusioned. The world is da. Everybody inside is a shrine or a temple or whatever it is. But we obscure it too much with this dialogue. That's why Bruce Lee said, there is no opponent. Why is that? Because the word I doesn't exist. It does exist if we give it strength. And you need a certain amount of, the sense of ego strength. It's just that you need to discriminate. Okay? Discrimination is opposed to judgment. It's a sword. Judgment's a club. No, that's not for me. You go down that path, you may want to talk to me later. I don't tell people what to do. Most people don't. They just keep clubbing other people, and other people wind up clubbing them back. It's a horrible state. You got a sword. Since they had that sword or spear that cut to the truth of the beingness of himself and other people. That's why he was offensive. Okay. So, within the history of it, like one of the things, so yeah, I was shocked, because I thought, Mary, he doesn't really seem to be your type. Yeah, but that one time that we were listening to the So Sensei tape, he explained what was going on that tape, even though he didn't know the Japanese. He did it in his own words. But I asked him, Go Sensei, about that. He says, if you make it too Japanese, how many people are going to learn Japanese to learn Aikido? I had to do it. I had a master's degree in Russian, and all of a sudden I go to Japan. I don't know Japanese with anything. People would, I translate into Russian, and I go, huh. Now I don't know the Russian or the Japanese anymore, so I'm freer. Okay. But the easy, open, subtle, not just his words, but you begin to feel an easiness in your own system. Instead of reacting to what's going on, you're a bit more open, not that, you're condoning mass shootings. You see what I mean? But when the mass shootings out there kill your spirit, then we have to put a stop to that. And, by doing the Aikido training, Aikido, in a certain ways, is prayer through movement. You're becoming more as an I transparent. The transparency leads you to a truer version of you or me. That truer version of you or me can access energies along a more of a universal design, the circle, the center, the circle. The center talks to the circle talks back. There's a harmony. There's even a love contained within that construct. The movements themselves allow you, in a certain way, to play that, there's a physical component to it. But, as you get used to the finer version of you, your movement becomes finer. Your touch becomes more like your touch screen on your phone. You don't club your phone or strangle your phone unless you're in a bad mood and don't like what's on it. You're easy. The touch means that you have a certain amount of mutual feeling with your partner. There's some compassion there. Level one, trying to get the person out there learning the technique, there's very little of it. Okay, so I'm the opponent until I learn to be increasingly easy with myself. Learn to open, settle a bit deeper, so it's not just ideas there, but there's those sense that calls it, well, it's the awareness, but the experience comes in from a different direction, awareness. That's good, you start there. We start out there and up there, but as we start to settle a bit, the experience kind of comes from the roots. Well, Sensei said, that he was not the father of Aikido. He said he was the mother of Aikido. He gave birth to it. He used a whole different paradigm than upper and control out there. He was more depth interior, and then that. So we're going to work at the easy, open shadow. I think it's a little bit into that space. You can practice it when you're driving. Don't space out during it. You can practice it when you're walking. Be a little more alert. So Okay. Anyway, that's out. So let's do that here. Okay. Thank you very much. We do have a Tai Chi class tonight. We do it online. I shifted from Wednesdays to Thursdays because I'm teaching San Jose State and doing 2 classes, and then rushing over here to do the noon classes. As I get older, which I am, it's harder. So I decided to try it this way. It seems to be okay so far. Okay. Well, we have Tai Chi tonight online. If you're interested in that, let me know, and I'll send you the link to it and put you on the email list. We just do the Tai Chi group, but we're taking new people towards the beginning of the hour. Okay, first. And what I can do is I can send you videos that we've done if you to practice. Okay. So if you're interested, the membership does. If you're paying ITIDO dues, you're automatically registered in Tai Chi. Okay. If you have friends that you think might want to do it with you, whatever, then we can work out a deal with them. Okay. All right. Anyway, thank you much. Oh. Okay.